Are we live? Can people hear us? We're doing it.
Hey!
We did the thing. The hardest part is done. The rest is easy. Hey, how's everybody doing? We're so glad to be here. My name is Ash. I'm here with Mr. Tony Perkins, the Director of Design on DC Worlds Collide. For the next about 60 to 90 minutes, depending on how quickly we go, we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about Superman DCU. We're going to show you his kit. We're going to go through all sorts of fun stuff that's coming up in the game. How you doing? Are you excited?
Yeah, no, it's been a long road getting here, and I'm super excited for the game to be out there and everybody to be playing it. I've been catching up with, friends and family who are finally able to, play the experience, and, seeing all the reactions online has been really great. And, just seeing, the relaunch of the game, being able to, get all these first impressions. It's great.
Right. First of all, thank you all so much for tuning in. We know that people are tuning in from all over the place. We very much appreciate you here. We're going to go through and do some really fun stuff today. We have the deep dive into Superman. We're going to go look at Evil Falls and talk about the Crime Syndicate. We have an awesome interview with legendary DC Comics writer Gail Simone, so that's going to be great. We're going to do a quick look at the various modes in the game and perhaps give a little tidbits about some stuff that's going to come in the future near the end. So stick around. Really, it's just a casual hangout. We're going to show you some fun stuff, and we're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Is everybody out there ready? All right. Well, thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive really quickly into Superman DCU. So let's jump on over to him and see what we got. So his banner comes out later today.
Yes, that's correct.
And I was gifted him. Thank you, everybody. It's just so I could show him to you a little bit early. So we're going to go through his kit a little bit and talk about how he's different from the Superman that's already in the game. What can you tell us about his overall functionality in the game?
Yeah, no, Superman DCU is a unique version of the Superman. We already have Superman in the game, as you know. Mm-hmm. And he is a DPS-focused Superman, where our original one is more tank-leaning. And he's got a lot of synergy with the Burn team, with single-target burst team. So he's going to work well with Batman, Superboy, all those rosters, and good in those fights where they're good at as well. And, he's got some interesting interactions coming up. Don't want to talk too much about the future stuff, but we've got a couple other characters from the Superman movie coming up that he works really well with as well.
Yes, so we saw them in the key art. Very exciting. So we've got Guy Gardner coming.
Yep, and
Mr. Terrific coming, who apparently is a huge fan favorite in the film. And I think our in-game version is going to be equally popular.
I think we've really nailed bringing those characters to screen, or our mobile screens.
Yeah, there you go.
They're coming. James Gunn brought them to real screen, so we have him to thank for that. But bringing the version to our game and making sure that their kits were true to their movie versions was really fun. And I think people are going to be delighted with all of them. Something else Superman has is that he's bringing in a new debuff type called Dampen, which increases the amount of super power damage that characters will deal. So you kind of soften up the team as you go, and then you're able to kind of punch through and use some superpower damage to really go over the top.
That's when I was writing about him, I kind of likened him to a bit of a, I don't know if this is the proper term, but I called him a tank buster. And he is kind of you can really pit him against the enemy squad, and he really will with Dampen and with all his burn stacks and all the fun stuff he does. And we'll dive into his kit in more detail in a second. But he's someone who you really don't want to see on the opposing team when you have a beefy tank in the front, because he will knock the tank down, which is very accurate to the character as well. So
yeah, I'm a big fan of playing with Nightwing, and I'm not going to be too happy seeing Superman across when I'm trying to block everything.
Yes, Nightwing is awesome. So let's run through his kit. We're not going to go super long on each one of these, but we did kind of want to look at these and kind of explain, and we'll show Superman in action in the stream today too. So his ultimate is Heat Vision Hurricane.
Yes.
And you can see that happened in the trailer for the film as well. I don't know if that was planned. There's a Heat Vision Hurricane in the Superman trailer, so definitely check that out if you want to see that in live action. But this is pretty cool. So he spins around and he hits the enemy with solar burn 6 times, dealing superpower damage equal to 50% of his attack, and he inflicts stacks of burn. So he's basically going to pound an enemy with burn stacks, and then he actually heals when each one of those burn stacks detonates. So he has a little bit of self-sustain built into his ultimate.
Yeah, and there's also, as you level up, you can see here that he does an additional hit every time a stack of burn fires off on the target. So there's a little bit of a mini game you want to be playing with him where you get the opponent to about 3 stacks of burn right below that 4th threshold. You fire off the ultimate and you get the full, like, it fires off, he gets another hit. It fires off again, he gets another hit. So there's like some avalanching there that's really fun to play with, and I think players are going to really enjoy.
And that also combos well, of course. More of the mini game, if you add more people with burn, it can benefit Superman.
Yeah.
And then of course you have to, it makes the mini game a little bit harder when you're managing all these different burn stacks.
Yeah, there's a little bit more juggling.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm quite advanced to that level of math, but I would just be like, as much burn as possible. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I love that ultimate. It looks very cool in game 2, and we'll show it off in a little bit. We have his basic attack, up, and away. So he does basic physical damage equal to 100% of his attack. And the targets next to his primary target are also hit by his attack. So
yeah,
nice
he gets a little
AoE.
splash damage.
I love that. Very cool.
Yeah, and as you level up, that splash damage gets a little stronger. So he kind of is just like wearing down that front line, even on his basics.
I love that. And then we have speeding bullet, and this is where the dampen comes in. So in terms of creating, this is a curveball question because we didn't talk about this one. In terms of creating new debuffs and things of that nature in game, how does that process exist on the team? Like, how do you come together and say, this would be cool if we added this?
There's a couple different ways that comes about. There's like a top-down version where a character is known for something, or we really want to get something across that they have done in comics or a movie, and we decide, okay, well, that would make really sense mechanically this way, and then that could lead to a new mechanic. Or there's bottom-up where we say, hey, the game health really needs like this hole filled, or you have like a little bit of a gap somewhere that we really want to fill, and then we know a couple different characters may fill that thing. We'll turn it into like a keyword mechanic, rather than like the other route to go is like, say a character has a skill, you do it specifically in there, you don't give it a name, you don't like generalize it so it's easier to use. But like something like dampen, you want it to be available to a lot of characters and let it pile up by like, stacking a team with dampen. So those are really the two main ways, but I would say that we it's about 50-50 on those two. And I think that dampen definitely came about because we were like, we wanted this super damaged team to come together and have like building blocks to build up, and also ones that we can release later and kind of like help this team like along the way as we release characters in the future. So
fun, very fun, cool, great answer. All right, so his passive, Last Sun's Renewal, this really adds to his survivability. We like this a lot. So he takes energy from the sun, he heals for 10% of the damage he took from the last turn. This one is cool, and of course you have Defender of the People. May be familiar to those who know our current Superman in the game. It is very similar in that there's a little bit of, we kind of took the Superman passives from the other one and we kind of combined them into Defender of the People. So we'll talk about the bottom part first, which is that if he gets knocked out once per battle, he'll just keep standing for a turn. And that's awesome. But something that you'll notice all Kryptonians actually have is this other piece where they are gain 30% physical damage reduction, but they're a little bit softer to superpower damage. Okay.
And that's something that we're doing as all Kryptonians that players might not have noticed yet, but Superman has it, Supergirl has it, and as we have more come out, it's going to be something we
I did not notice that. So
yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Once we add a little bit more to the roster, it might become, the patterns become clear. But we have some thoughts about like, what does it mean to be a Kryptonian in our game?
Yeah, I love this passive. I've had this invulnerability come in clutch many times playing with him. It is, I mean, the fact that he can just stand there and just take all the abuse for an entire turn, and then you can use other characters to get him back on his feet, which is really cool. In terms of team building with Superman, we know you said that he synergizes really well with the Justice Gang. We might talk a little bit more about that later, but in terms of existing characters that are in game now, let's say if someone ends up picking up Superman tonight on his banner, what are some decent team comps that people can come up with out of the gate?
Yeah, burn and single target damage are definitely the strengths Superman has with his ultimate, stacking up burn on one character, and He's really good at kind of like getting through that first person, turning into a 4v5 as quickly as possible. I'd team him up with Batman in that case, definitely. Red Hood's really good at burning down. You kind of put Superman and Red Hood on the same side. You can kind of get through that front line pretty quick. Burns also great. Obviously, we talked about a little bit with his ultimate, that fun mini game there, but Superboy's great. You can mix him with Bizarro, Starfire, Dr. Phosphorus. There's a couple of the ones that are really good to slide him in with.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, we're going to jump over and we're going to show him now in Evil Falls in a second. You want to go ahead and run our Crime Syndicate trailer? Thanks, buddy. All right, we are back. So we're going to take a look at Superman DCU, whose banner drops later tonight. We're going to bring him into Evil Falls. Today's Evil Falls is Deathstorm.
Yeah.
Is that a great match for Superman DCU?
Honestly, no, not really. I mean, he's going to be good because he's just got a good punch to him. But honestly, we see right here, we've got a little bit of a timer. Power Ring is where he's really going to shine. So actually, when people are able to get him later today, when his banner goes up, Power Ring's going to be active, and you should check him out in there because the single target aspects are really going to help you out getting down those projections that Power Ring puts out there.
Awesome. So we have a lot of new players. The game just launched.
Yeah.
Can we dive a little bit into how Evil Falls works and sort of what the mode is like for newer players?
Yeah, so Evil Falls is a boss battle mode. Each of the battles has unique rules and setups that are really specific to these battles. You're not going to see a lot of these in other places. So with Deathstorm specifically, you want to kind of like get through his force field. He's kind of like putting force fields on your team, and you want to chew through those so that you can, get back up to proper functionality on your team. So in that case, heal and sacrifice help you burn through those more. They have bonuses to stripping that shield off your characters and helping you get back up to, full functionality.
Awesome. Yeah, the thing that I love about Evil Falls is it forces you to build teams that you probably normally wouldn't build. It really it forces you to think incredibly strategically. So for those of you that are new to it, you can click over here right next to Constantine, and it'll give you a little bit of a heads up and a recommended section about who you should build, recommended characters for the mode, and then the rewards for Evil Falls are really pretty fantastic. So they're harder iterations of the enemies that you fight in Evil Falls. You get better and better rewards. So every time it rolls around, which is every 48 hours.
Yep.
Every 48 hours, you can keep trying and up your game and see how you do. We're going to jump in and showcase not only Superman, but showcase me probably failing at Evil Falls, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot anyway and see how we do.
Yeah, I think something really important about Evil Falls is that it's important to try and push as far as you can into it, because when you come back, not only do you get like a reward each time the boss shows back up, but that reward is based not only on the level you got to, but how much percentage you got to. So getting to, 60% on a boss as opposed to 40%, you're going to get a little bit more rewards next time that boss comes around.
Right. Don't worry, I'm not putting Raven in front. I can see chat right now being, what are you doing with Raven? So who should I put as my other tank?
So you can there's a couple things. I think I personally like putting either Wonder Woman or Red Hood in the front to get a little bit more damage, especially since we want to run 2 healers in the back.
Let's do Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think that's she's kind of good.
She's kind of good. She's kind of good. Everyone that's been playing for a while probably knows Wonder Woman's pretty solid. I've built her up pretty okay, so we're going to go ahead and give this a shot.
All right, well, do you check your alt order?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget your alt order.
I'm rushing ahead, so we don't need you. You're here. I'm going to let you.
Well, we definitely we're doing single target here. We might want to manual a little bit because of the healing.
Let's manual it.
But if we want to go into auto mode, let's And I'm not going to want to fire these off. I'm going to put these here like this, and I'm going to probably go to manual play and try and play our heals as they are relevant. So we'll do that.
We're going to do that. And you know what? Once we get there, we'll put this, we're going to put it on manual. I'm going to let you drive.
Oh, wow.
On the spot.
This is great.
If it fails, know that these are my characters. And not
no, I was set up. This was a setup. So we're going to hit the button on Superman.
All right, here we go.
I'm going to see his ult in action. There he goes. That is a heat vision tornado for sure.
You've angered him.
Yeah, he's mad. Okay. We're going to want to get some heals out here to chew through. Yeah, see his bar up top there, for those who are unfamiliar, drained real quick there.
The more heals you can get off in this mode, the better.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch. You want to time it because like right now his bar's not open, so we want to focus on damage. Let's get in there. Let's slam with Wonder Woman. Get some bleed damage going with our friend in here. I love the reinforcements. I think they're really fun.
I do too. Yeah, we're going to talk more about them later, but it really lets you kind of further define your teams. And also give the teams abilities that they wouldn't have otherwise, that you can kind of stack and figure out even cooler combos, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. So we'll do that. Not as good. Oh, I should have waited. Black Canary just came off. She chews through that bar so much faster than Kid Flash. Though he has a heal on his alt and his advanced, so he's got like 2 shots in there. But run down his bar again, and Superman's back up. He's going to be who I'm going for next. We're going to sit on our mirror heal here until we need a little bit. But all right, we're just going to get both in there.
There we go. The 2 biggies.
Oh, look how many he had. A lot of spins there. It's a little bit easier to do the mini game when it's just Superman. You get a little bit more control. You know what's going on. You can imagine when you get a burn team in, you got a little bit more like juggling. All right, this time I'm going to wait until after Black Canary's turn so I can. There we go. I think I'm going to chew through most of it on this one. I might have to. Oh no, he's high enough level. I'm going to need to. I'm gonna. We'll do a Bane just to mix things up for a second because nobody's really hurt. I don't want to use Kid Flash. Even if it would kind of chew through. Okay,
love the animation on up and away. That's such a cool animation.
Yeah, I'm going to have to use something here before this fills up. Okay, I'll use... There's a little bit of missing health now. Let me jump in there. Fill that right back up. That's got to be really frustrating for Deathstorm. I fought against teams like this. It's like you do something and it gets erased right away.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we've got his bar down. Gates are open. Let's get in there.
Let's see what we can do.
Another Superman in there. I didn't see what his burn stacks were at, but I should look at that beforehand, like he's at 2 right now. Okay, we're going to sit on these for a second. Oh, I got to use something. We're going to use Bane. I don't want to lose my ultimate points as they charge up here. Oh, one of them's available. Get it in there before it charges. Oh, I guess it was 5. I would have been fine.
There you go.
Yeah. I can't waste those resources. Oh, okay. Here we go. Now we're going to do some heal again. We're back on. I can actually use...
Quick heal?
Yeah, quick heal on the back.
A little bit off.
Yeah. Then we'll...
Yeah, the thing I really appreciate about Evil Falls is each one of the different Crime Syndicate members really has a completely different strategy that you have to adjust for.
Oh, yeah.
And build your teams accordingly. Like, just for the stream, like, I normally don't run Kid Flash. Everyone says I should run Kid Flash, but I was like, I'll build him up a little bit because I knew it was going to be Deathstorm. And I was like, well, we should have him in there for that because he's super helpful. And it kind of pays attention. If you pay attention to what all the Evil Falls bosses really require to take down, it enables you to build some really cool combos and synergies. You may actually pass this for me. This may be a moment of triumph. I just need to have you over to my house. Every time I get stuck, I'll just invite you over and be like, "Hey, can you come?
Yeah, it's
come
getting a
drive us?"
little.
Now the pressure's on, though.
Yeah, okay. Black Canary's back up. Oh, the bar went away right as I hit her, but that's fine. We'll get everybody up, and I think I could just auto this out. I think we're in the green
We're in
here.
the clear.
But I'm gonna wait for Wonder Woman to come up here and hit really hard. I'm gonna finish it with a blast. I can't finish it with Superman. He's got another round.
Here we go.
Oh no!
Almost.
Okay,
Oh,
Bane, get in there.
you got the moment of congratulations. Well, congratulations to me because I get all the sweet rewards.
Yeah, no, that's.
We're gonna let Bane have his moment in the sun here. Here we go.
Yeah, but Superman, I mean, like, you can see even here, he's not necessarily built for this. But, you know, you have a couple characters, but you also always need that firepower to punch through, because it is
Right.
still a boss battle. You still need to take the boss down.
Right.
So, Superman was great there alongside Wonder Woman just to keep our DPS up while, you know, Kid Flash and Black Canary were holding the fort down.
Yeah, it's these characters are recommended but not required, right?
Yes.
So you can really, and that's the thing I really love about the game. And there's blogs and stuff we have coming that really talk about this, but you're not required to build your team in any specific way. Like if you want to climb the leaderboards and in PvP and do fantastically with it, there's some characters that really are great. They all are functional though. There's like a lot of you can slot in a lot of characters in a lot of different places and build a lot of really wacky compositions and have a lot of fun. And one of the things we're going to jump over to an interview with legendary DC Comics writer Gail Simone to talk about the story and how the story of all these characters kind of come together and how Batman's really kind of bringing all these heroes and villains together to fight against the crime syndicate. And what a cool opportunity that is to have these groups of unlikely allies working together to face off against something that is like really, really a huge challenge for them. So let's go ahead and jump over to that interview with Gail Simone real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit about story and main modes. We are here with the legendary Gail Simone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and chatting about DC Worlds Collide. How are you?
I am great, and I am super excited about this game. I can't even, it's like I'm buzzing because it's just such a fun experience that I can't wait for everyone else to get on board.
I'm in the same boat. I absolutely love the game. And I think one of the things about the game that's so special is it really has so many characters are in the same place at the same time. We all have a history with DC. And let's go to the way back machine to when we were kids. Who were some of your favorite DC characters from when you were a kid, and what were some of your earliest DC memories?
Well, okay, so I grew up on a very isolated dairy farm outside of a very tiny town. So it was very isolated in Oregon. It rains a lot. There's a lot of chores and basically no television, except for a little bit of golf and news and that kind of thing. So I started reading at a really young age, and I didn't have a comic store or any of that kind of early experience. But what did happen is I was watching the syndicated Batman television series, and it happened to be an episode, and imagine like a lot of television was in black and white. My grandfather watched golf all the time, boring stuff, but this was colorful and bright and really badass and funny. And when Batgirl came, it was for me because I, was a young girl. I was the only one in my school with red hair. I liked to read. I was kind of a bookworm and everything, and I got teased a lot. And she came on screen and she was kicking ass. She didn't need anyone to help her, and she was smart and she didn't deny it. And and I was super shy too. And I literally went to school the next day, speaking up more, fighting back more. It really changed my behavior and my outlook on life, really, and my part in it, because I saw someone on screen that I identified with, which is one reason why I think that is so important.
Well, let's shift over to the game for a little bit because that's why we're here. So, what was it about DC Worlds Collide that got you interested in working on it?
Well, I love superhero games. I really do. There's no question about that. I talk nonstop about it all the time. But this is not a Batman game. This is not a Superman game. This is a DC Universe game, and the number of characters that you get to play in this game it'll blow your mind, and it's just the beginning that we're starting out with. So that was extremely appealing to me because, you know, one minute you can be playing Black Canary, and the next minute you can play Gorilla Grodd, and there's just such a wide variety. It's just, I can't even stress how much fun it is.
That is super fun. And if you're feeling crazy, you can put Black Canary and Gorilla Grodd on the same team and see what happens.
That's exactly right.
It's so much
It's
fun.
your team.
Absolutely. There are a lot of challenges. Writing is very hard. You've written some of the best comics of all time. It's absolutely amazing just to get to talk to you. But what are some of the big challenges of writing for games as opposed to comic books?
Well, thank you, first of all. That was very
Oh.
nice. But I think, you know, when I'm writing a comic book, I'm telling you where the story's going, basically. You're reading, you know, I have constructed the story and you're reading along, and you know, that was in my control. In a game, because you have choices, we have to prepare for that. So it's not just writing a story straight, you know, timeline or whatever. We have to be prepared for choices that the player might make. So it gets, there's a lot of spreadsheets.
Right. So let's talk quickly about the narrative of the game. Of course, Batman's trying to gather his forces to fight against the crime syndicate. So what are your feelings on like Ultraman, Superwoman, and the rest of the bad guys in this game? What is it like to write them and to have them be part of this experience?
Well, the crime syndicate, what's scary about them is that they look like the Justice League. They look like if you were in trouble in an alley and they showed up, you'd think, oh, thank goodness the day is saved and I'm going to be okay. But in reality, the crime syndicate shows up, all bets are off. You don't know what's going to happen. Nothing good is going to happen. And that is scary. Just, you know, the fact that they can, you know, kind of move around like they're the good guys, and you can make you think they are, and then find out they're just horrible. And for me, that's delicious to write, you know.
Well, thank you so much, Gail, for hanging out with us. We very much appreciate it. We love that you're a part of the game, and hopefully our paths cross one day so I could gush to you in person.
Sounds great, Ash. Thank you so much.
All right, we're back. Thank you for watching our chat with Gail Simone. There's actually going to be a full-length version of that chat/interview up on our social sites at a later date. So if you want to hear more about the story and more about Gail's history and all the fun stuff that she's been doing, then please drop by and check that out. We're going to jump into the main story for a bit, and this is actually some Gail Simone writing right here. So this is stage 25-1. So if you have not gotten this far, this
is a spoiler warning. So like, you know, watch out. But if you're not too concerned, we can jump in. You'll see a little tidbit.
Yes.
But yeah, we're starting here on map. You said 25?
25.
Yeah,
I think 25. So this is some Gail Simone writing here, and then we're going to also show off Superman in combat here. So I'm going to quickly kind of buzz through this. The dialogue is great. I'll let you guys read it as we go. I'm not going to do voiceover for this. Nobody wants that. So we were just talking when Gail was playing, and when we do build our team for this mode, we are going to pair up Superman with Batman. Do you want to talk about why that is, why we're putting them together?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier when we were talking about Superman generally, single target is really a strength of his. He's really good at like knocking down that front line and really turning into the whole point of like the crit teams or single target burst teams are to try and make it a 4v5 as quickly as possible and get that numbers advantage.
Okay. So we have Batman here. We're going to take out Nightwing. Well, we also want to keep Nightwing.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
No, I wasn't going to put...
Whatever. I accidentally...
Don't pay attention to me, chat.
Yeah.
I do, I'm going to tell the truth, though. I have had Wonder Woman in my front for a while. Wonder Woman does pretty okay in front.
Yeah. So yeah, as you saw here, for those new to the game, team synergies are pretty important. You'll see them down here on the right. When a character that holds a team synergy is in battle, you get an option of filling theirs out here. Right now you can see, like, I'm not going to use Lex's, but Lex's is a shield-based one, and we're fulfilling the requirements, but we really want to be using Batman. So I'm going to select Batman. So gotta click out, select Batman's, and now it's active. So we'll go ahead, and I want to make sure that my heavy hitters are kind of on the left side, because that means they're going to both target that front left. Where if I did something like this, Superman would be hitting front left, Batman would be hitting front right. So you really want to pile over on that one side there to take advantage of the targeting preferences. So, and also, as I mentioned before, we want to, I want Batman. So Batman does some, now I want to get that burn going. I'm going to contradict myself immediately as I was thinking about it, but no, I want to get those burn stacks going with Superman.
And Raven's got a little burn in there on occasion too. So.
Yeah, she's got so she does a random debuff. So like sometimes it's burn, sometimes it's poison. That's not going to help Superman out so much, but she does benefit from just having, debuffs flowing around. And Batman throws his armor break out there, which Raven will take advantage of when she eventually ults. So I think we're good.
We're good?
Yeah, I think we're going to burn through this one.
I think we might.
Yeah, this is a bunch of just little no names. But yeah, I mean, poison and bleed immediately, no burn. But
you never know with Raven.
Yeah. Okay.
One of my favorite characters. I missed her on her first banner, and I was so upset.
Oh, yeah, just that guy's immediately gone. Oh, we get Batman's first time per day. You get a little cutscene with his ultimate there.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, we'll wrap this battle up. Oh, you got to see the basic there where he punched and you got the splash damage on the secondary guy. Good little show
Lex
off
got
that.
to go and throw a haymaker in there.
Yeah, Lex got getting his hands dirty.
Very nice. So, in terms of, again, for newer players, why should players keep progressing through main stages? What are the overall benefits for that matter?
Well, you're going to drive while I talk.
I'm going to drive.
Okay.
I know, I'm fortunate.
Too many things.
I was like, I'm just going to
I can't possibly, have an idea of doing two things at once.
Right.
Beyond my abilities. I'll talk about a little bit of why you want to progress, and then we can talk about a little bit of some tips on how to progress. So, progressing in main stage is kind of like the backbone of your progress for the game. So your idle rewards that you get, that pile of treasure that drones are pulling back, every time you beat a main stage, you complete a chapter, those rewards get better. So you really want to be pushing your main stage up, because that means every time you're coming back, you're getting better and better rewards. It also helps unlock other modes of play, especially for the players that are newer that have started and joined us just yesterday. You unlock different modes of play, and with those modes of play are new rewards you can get every day. So it's really, like I said, it's the backbone of everything else in the game. For progressing, I think that it's really important that you take advantage of all the different ways that you can get power-ups in the game. It's very obvious. Level for your character is very important. Ranks for the characters also very important. You unlock new versions of skills, power-up skills as you go along. But you gotta don't overlook the smaller things. Leveling up your equipment or equipping new equipment on your characters can get you over a little bit of a hump or a wall if you're at it. You can't quite beat a level. Reinforcements. Leveling up your reinforcements.
Your timing was impeccable. I just hit that mobile, as you said.
I wasn't even looking. But leveling up your reinforcements, not only are, if you rank them up, they're stronger in battle, but if you just level them up, there is a system where it looks at the total level of all your reinforcements, and it gives you bonuses to your team. So even if you're not using the Batmobile, leveling up the Batmobile helps your team out, even if it's not on the field at the time. So level up, use those reinforcement resources, level that up. Swap out new equipment. Sometimes just using, it's not, speed equipment is usually not the equipment that we reach for first on the shelf. We're usually looking at attack and health. But I found that sometimes just getting a speed bonus on a character and letting them go before somebody can completely change a battle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and as you're saying, you may hit a wall at some point where you're like, oh man, I need to either level up my characters, level up my gear, figure out a way to get past this challenge. I remember when I was first playing the first month in, there was one main stage I was stuck at for like a week, and it was actually, I quite enjoyed it because it really made me use the level up matrix, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. It made me really think about how I was strategizing and what I needed to do. And eventually I blew past it, and then you get this nice reward of and then you get to plow through minions for a few levels, and you get to feel powerful again. But sometimes you'll hit these really challenging areas, and it's okay. And then you can go ahead and play different modes, which we'll look at in a few minutes.
Yeah, and I think that, that's the thing too, that if you are kind of stretched for resources or you've done all your level ups and there's nowhere to go, there's a ton of different other modes of play to jump into to get more resources, to get more progression. So if you're stuck on main stage, you might be able to go somewhere else. You might go to Convergence, you might be able to go in Evil Falls, and go ahead and I lost my train of thought.
But
build yourself up. Yeah,
build yourself up in different ways. Yeah, it's hard to talk and play at the same time, and that's kind of what we're reading messages as we're going.
Yeah.
So right now in game, what we are doing is we're kind of trying to get Bane down as quickly as possible. Heat Vision Hurricane just took out Bane. We're looking pretty good. Now we could show off Raven's ultimate here. It looks like Nightwing may actually go down. He may not.
Oh yeah.
But if he does, we can show off.
He's tenacious. He might not.
He's tough,
okay. So
tough
we got Raven. We're gonna hit this minion. I'm pretty sure pretty hard because he's got a bunch of debuffs. Oh, he just lost them. My timing was poor.
Get him.
Yeah, she would have hit. Yeah, he had more debuffs on it, and then I waited too long, and then Pandora had more debuffs by the time I hit the button.
So Nightwing just went down, but for those of you who do not have Raven, here we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Raven has her advanced is that she kind of tires herself out, so she goes into this less powerful state after she does it. But she does revive a character, and that's got like a 3 or 4, I can't remember the exact 3 or 4 turn cooldown. So if you are fighting a boss that's really heavy hitting on single targets, she's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but Stephen Wolf in League Challenge will like just pick a person on your team and just
one-shot them.
And Raven's really good in that mode because she can pick people back up, keep your firepower up.
I think, she's one of my favorites. She has a great utility. She does great damage, and then
get in there.
Go ahead, Batman, do your thing. The world's finest team up here. All right, good stuff. Let's we may jump back to this because we're doing good. We're plowing through stuff. But let's go ahead, and I want to showcase the level link matrix for new players that don't necessarily know how it works or what it does. So let's say, for instance, we wanted to have Superboy on our team. Superboy right now on my roster is only level 1. So if you have level link matrix slots unlocked, you can go through and it pulls from what's the best way to verbalize this? You have your top 5 highest characters. It pulls from the lowest of your top 5 and applies that level to the lowest of your top 5.
Yes, yeah, you can see here, visualize, you can see your top 5 characters called captains in the leveling matrix are kind of setting the bar for your team. So the lowest level within your top 5 sets the bar for your leveling matrix. So you really want to like have 5 that you're pushing forward, and because they raise the bar for everybody in this leveling. So you've got a Riddler sitting here from the Riddler event. You've got a little question mark there that you can claim. We can talk about that. I just noticed that hiding there. Getting distracted.
Should
Riddler's
we do
distracting
it?
me.
Should we do it?
I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and claim that. So there is, so there is a Riddler event that runs early on in the player's experience that the Riddler's dropping clues, and there's a little bit of a metagame event where you have to do a little bit of a scavenger hunt across the game to find out where they're all at. This is one of the harder ones to kind of find because it's kind of tucked in there. It's also a little bit hard to see on top of that polyhedral that's
As
floating.
you can tell by me not finding it.
Yeah, you had not found out. I looked at the screen for like 20 seconds before I saw it there, and I knew it.
I'm probably missing so many of them.
Yeah.
I'm really admittedly bad at that. So,
but yeah, let's drop Superboy in here so that we can use.
So we'll go ahead and throw him in there.
You see his level jumps up, and then if we go back one screen, you'll see that all the characters with blue numbers are the ones in the leveling matrix. So that's why their numbers are blue. And there is the white numbers are your captains. So the ones at the top.
Ryan just said we had a question from chat. Best healers in the game, other than Canary and Flash.
Oh man, those two are, so we don't have a ton of like dedicated healers. There's a lot of people that have small amounts of healing on them as well. Zatanna gives lifesteal to your team, so that's a good way to get a little extra healing in the team. Pandora's really good as a healer as well. Her ultimate does a lot of DPS and then also heals at the same time as you deal. Constantine, surprisingly enough, has some regenerate that he sends. So he does sacrifice. He takes a little bit of health away, but then he gives some regenerate backwards, and you actually end up netting health overall. But you have to like pay in a little bit, and it's like a loan on health, and you get paid interest back on the health that Constantine borrowed from you to power his magic. Those are some of the best ones, and obviously like Bane works really well. He doesn't necessarily he's not a healer himself, but like healing him,
self heal, with his ultimate.
Yeah, he does it to himself. I don't really consider people that self heal to really be healers, because they're not like, you can't put them on a team to boost the other people that you're bringing in. Because like
Captain Cold has a regen, right? Doesn't Captain Cold?
Mr. Freeze has one where he freezes your ally, and while they're entombed, they get like
health back. Okay,
health back. Yeah, and then there's Penguin does some self healing too. Like he does his ult and brings it back. But
top are still Kid Flash.
Oh yeah, Kid Flash is the single
Mm-hmm.
target king. Like he is just going to, if you're having trouble with like one person getting bullied in your team, bring in Kid Flash and he'll help you out.
Oh, there's requests to see the Superman badge.
Absolutely.
So let's do that. Thanks, Ryan. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at this badge here.
Let's jump into the actual thing. It's a little bit easier to look at here. So we'll look at the tier 1, which is where we're at. So these are all Last Sun's Renewal. This is, and reminder, Last Sun's Renewal is the healing passive that he has at the start of his turn. He brings in the sun's energy and gets a little bit of heal. So these are all modifying that. So first one, if Superman has less than 20% of his max HP at the start of his turn, Last Sun's Renewal heals for double the amount. So it starts at, I think, 10% as the base. So, if you're very low health, he gets higher amount of regeneration. So if he's critical, he gets a little bit better. Second badge here, Superman gains additional 50% physical damage reduction. Flat out.
That's
great.
Yeah, that's pretty great. I cannot play both Supes on a team.
Yeah, so the question was, can you play both Supermans at a team? Yes, they are different characters. This is a multiverse style game. We're pulling people from different versions of the universe. So Superman DCU and Superman, our version based on the comics, can be played side by side. You can put Superman up front, Superman DCU in the back. It will work out just great. And actually, Kryptonians kind of have they
synergize.
Synergize. They've got burn. They've got a couple of them got frost.
Yeah. So, I thought the question was, could I I don't have the other Superman unlocked. So I was like,
you personally cannot.
Sadly, I cannot do that yet. I plan on getting him.
But yeah, last level of the badge here, we have Last Sun's Renewal now heals for double the amount if Superman has less than 50%. So instead of, compare that here to our last one, we're looking at 20%. Now it raises that bar up to 50%. So you're going to more often see that big boost of healing. And then legendaries, there's no big effect here, but going through badge 4, you get a lot of nice bonuses. So nothing to really say here.
And we did see a question earlier, how can we get Superman? And his banner goes live later today. So for those of you just tuning in, get ready.
Yeah, no, there is. So talk a little bit more about that since you kind of touched on it there. Superman, for those of you new, legendary characters come out. They have not only a special mother box that goes up that features that character, makes it easier to gain them because they are the only legendary available in that box. But we also have a whole host of events. So Superman event goes live. We're going to have a boss battle against Superman in there. We have a mission chain where you're going alongside with Superman to help him save the day. And through all these different modes in the shop there, you can get resources to get more pulls from that banner. So you'll be able to take your shot and try and get Superman through the event and through that banner and all the rewards that are alongside it. So
it's exciting. Yeah. So that's coming really soon, later this afternoon. Pacific time.
Yeah,
so
we're about 6 hours?
6 hours away.
6 hours and 15 minutes away. Yeah.
Yes. So that's really exciting. And of course, later banners are going to be for members of the Justice Gang that you'll see in the key art behind us.
Yep.
they're coming too, which is very cool. Let's jump over, and we wanted to just kind of quickly run through some of the modes in the game, because I think one of the things, somebody called me out in chat saying, like, one of the things that I find so exciting, I find a lot of things exciting, so I'm sorry. I kind of gush when I do these because I genuinely think it's cool, so I get very excited. But there are a lot of different things to do in the game. So one of the things, as you unlock different challenges within the multiverse, there's a lot to do. So we already looked through Evil Falls. War World is our PvP. We're not going to dive too much into that today, but let's quickly look at Elseworlds.
Yeah.
So Elseworlds is a little different. I actually really, I'm going to say it again, I really like this mode, but it is true, because I really like roguelike games. I like the random nature of it. So what can you tell us a little bit about Evil Falls in general, and some of the benefits of playing Evil Falls?
Yeah, so
Sorry.
Yeah, you threw me off.
Elseworlds.
Elseworlds. I was like,
said the wrong one.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah.
I started my brain like short circuited there. It was like, wait a second.
It's been a long
I'm not
run,
looking
yeah.
at Evil Falls. So Elseworld, it's really, you get a lot there. So one run in Elseworlds per day, and the rewards you get per stage are actually pretty good. And they give titanium, huge thing. Anyone, if you played for a little bit, you know that you're hitting that titanium wall on your levels. So you want to be doing your Elseworlds every day so you can get that bit of titanium pulled out of the system. For playing it, one thing you really, really need to pay attention to is this debuff here. So like you see here, Sloth, we have the decreases the enemy speed by 15%, but their action bar will increase 50% every time they take damage. So the more, if you're doing a lot of, single target, you're not going to be doing this, you want to be paying attention to those, because some of them are very transformative too. Like there's a couple that like really can hurt you. Like there's, I forget which of the 7 deadly sins it is, but there's one where the more damage they take, the higher their damage output is. But you don't want to want to AoE, and like even if you pick a really strong AoE team like Wonder Woman, Constantine, Green Arrow, you'll actually be very punished and your team won't succeed. So you really want to keep those in mind while you're looking at the characters. It's a little bit challenging at the start because you don't know what a lot of the characters do as you're kind of like looking at them, and you're like, so you really have to just kind of jump in and try it. But as you play longer and you get more experience, you get rewarded for knowing that like your knowledge of the rest of the characters is rewarding in the system, because we don't own any of these characters. These are characters you're playing. You're not playing with your regular roster. It's a roguelike mode where you're kind of picking up characters as you go.
And plus, you get to experience all these characters that you may not own. You get to try out their kits, which is awesome. Like for instance, I'm looking at the roster here. I think I actually have most of these, but there, sometimes you'll encounter characters you're like, oh man, I don't have Martian Manhunter, and I always seem to get Martian Manhunter in this mode, and I really love his kit, and it makes me really want that character even more. So let's go ahead and we're going to run through this a little quickly, because I want to show the rewards, and I also want to show what you get as you advance through the stages, because it's cool. You get to choose how you want to buff your team as you progress, and by the end, you can, if you buff correctly and unlock the correct things, you can basically hypercharge your team by the end of this to just be incredibly powerful. And it's a fun little run, because your team comps are always different, your strategies are always different. I enjoy it. So which starting squad should we pick?
Well, I was looking here. We've been playing a lot with Bane, and we've been playing a lot with Raven. So I kind of pre-selected this middle one to get your thoughts here. Okay. Because we haven't seen a whole lot of these characters here in the middle. That's right. So I thought it was a good pick.
Let's do it. And we can talk through some of these characters too, because I played a lot of Green Lantern John in the beginning.
Yeah. So. To be clear, strategically, we had Constantine at the bottom, and he was a suggested character. So we probably should have taken that one.
We should have.
But we wanted to check out these characters.
But you don't know who you're going to get if you hit recruit, true. And that's part of the fun. So here we go.
So we've got on our team, we do have Superboy right now in our lineup. And because I've run through this mode a couple times, I do know that there's some Burn and Frost interactions. So Starfire is also another Burn character, might be a good pickup here, because if we get a couple of those buffs, we could lean into those Burn synergies.
All right, let's do that. I would have gone with Lex because Lex.
Yeah, Lex is a very strong character, and it's so let's talk a second. Let's consider, because our tanks are not necessarily Vixen, and we've got Green Lantern John.
Okay.
So we don't have a whole lot. Like Green Lantern's also a choice here. If we picked him up, we'd have a second one. So if he goes down, not a bad choice, by the way. If you see a second copy of a good tank, because they go down first, and you want to be able to replace them. I often will have like a second copy of like Martian Manhunter or something.
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing. It's like it's nice to have the backups because inevitably you will likely lose characters along the way.
So Vixen doesn't really have a whole lot of synergies with our team right now, so it might be a good thing to pick up Lex because he's a more general use tank, where Vixen's a little bit more narrow in her use.
You can't go wrong with that shield too.
Yeah. So let's take Lex. Insurance policy. Lex is a pretty good character. Let's grab him.
We could ask chat.
That's true.
And we could have Ryan let us know.
Yeah. Between those two, which one should we grab? Starfire or Lex?
See what we say.
Yeah.
We'll give it like 30 seconds. And then we'll take a look and see what the general chat says.
Give me a moment to take a drink.
Yeah, we'll take a drink, hang out a little bit.
One for each so far.
Oh man,
more Starfires.
More Starfires.
Okay.
All right, let's do Starfire.
Chat has spoken.
Thank you, chat. All right, so battle. Usually the first one, I just go with whatever.
It's we're in like the blues and the purples. It doesn't matter as much. We get a little bit more picky as we go later.
Hero.
And a lot of the burn stuff here is not so something of note. Team synergies don't come into play in this mode. You don't have to worry about that. So you don't have to remember who all has team synergies and be picking them. Just a little bit of cognitive load taken off the player. But you do want to think about the synergy. So like we said, Superboy and Starfire both have burn. So let's take a look at their lineup. We want to get those burn stacks going pretty early. And then maybe a Green Arrow to finish things off.
That looks good.
If we get later, we might want to swap some of those tank abilities up. But for now, I think this is good.
All right. Burn through this first one.
Oh, there was a pun there.
No, burned it. Unintended pun. Unintended pun. But it worked. Vixen's a lot of fun. Her kit's very unique.
Yeah. And I think she just got a buff recently in our last balance patch. So if you've been playing for a little bit of time, check her out. She might be different.
All right, we're gonna do Superboy here in a sec. Actually, Starfire.
And you might not get a chance because the battle's about to end.
They're burning through it.
Go. Oh, you missed it. You missed it.
Too slow. Too slow. Green Lantern John's kit is a lot of fun too. He was one of the first legendary characters I picked up when I first started, and I love his retaliation, the way he can basically block attacks and then counterattack. I think that's super fun.
Well, he is epic, but I'll let it slide.
Oh, did I say legendary?
You did say legendary. He is an epic.
The colors are the same.
Yeah.
I'm also easily confused. I heard people in the other room moaning. Is that a hot topic right now?
It's a little bit of a hotbed topic.
Right,
yeah.
All right. We'll move on from that. So in terms of, say, we just beat that battle, so now we get to select a buff. So we can select a buff that when something detonates.
Yeah. See.
Yes.
So here's the problem though. We don't have any frostbite yet.
We don't.
We don't have because Superboy in his kit does not have any frostbite application. Despite being Kryptonian, he hasn't developed that power yet.
That's right. So he's burn only. So
that would be very speculative. We'd have to find
try and pull for that character if we get him. Right.
Which it won't be in yours right now because you're getting a sneak peek early version of Superman. But when Superman is in the pool, there's going to be another Frost. We're going to have a little bit more. Well, no, I'm misspeaking. Our new Superman doesn't have Frost powers.
No,
I'm completely confusing it with the original one. I have so many characters floating in my head. But
I can't imagine the spreadsheet that is your brain.
But yeah, no, if it would be speculative. Frostbite is a kind of like healing. There's only a couple characters that do it. We want to build that out. But if these are very powerful buffs though. So if you can assemble that, they are really worth it. But it's really risky.
Yeah,
we don't know if we'll see the
you have to see if you encounter that character on your journey here. So I'm going to go for a more general. Increases damage by 50% when hit points are low. So that one is
always going to be
a
useful.
good general one.
Yep.
And we're going to go ahead. We can actually go through these. This looks like a team that we can probably take.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and dive in. We'll do a couple more of these, and then we might jump to a different mode. I just kind of wanted to show the rewards here.
Yeah. Yeah, titanium is super important, and this is a pretty good resource for it. If you're looking for titanium, this mode, make sure you're doing your dispatches every day and increasing your main stage because your idle rewards.
Yeah, we'll look at dispatches. I think right after this, we'll jump and show off the rooms. And we can look at some of that stuff and other ways to gain resources and goodies.
Yeah, as we said before, if you ever get stuck in main stage or somewhere else, there is a ton of other places to find some progress.
So here we're just kind of burning through these guys. We're going to go ahead and do some green arrow. Just to punish them with a sea of arrows.
Yeah.
Almost. I don't think we've shown Superboy's ult yet.
I don't know.
He's got a fun little ult.
I was talking last time, so I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. I'm in the zone. I don't know what's going. So as you can see, it's a fair amount of rewards for every stage.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to progress through this as often as possible. So then we get another reward, and if you're really paying attention, we can really build out our team based on the rewards that we encounter, right? So you can get really specific. If you want to get in the weeds and be like, okay, do I have a lot of characters with the agile trait? Do I have characters that have lifesteal? Or do I go increase back row allied character attacks by 25%? Well, this is where most of my DPS characters are. So this is a pretty wise choice.
Yeah.
Increase crit, increase attack by 25%. And then you have the older buff that if they're below 40%, you get a stack of additional damage.
Yep.
So now your whole back row is just becoming, more and more
Monsters.
powerful as you progress, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we don't really have agile. Our burn characters that we're kind of building up are mostly live in the mighty trait, so...
Okay. So
Whoa. Okay, so we should probably try. Let's try and go for it. We didn't pick up the other one, but now, we can start adding burn or frostbite. Even if we don't get a whole lot more, adding just stacks of burn, 50% of the time is going to be pretty good for us. This one's pretty good too on the right.
Really
yeah,
good. The extra
there's
energy.
some good options here, but like I wanna try and do the thing. Let's see if we can.
let's get specific.
Yeah.
All right. I like that idea.
Oh, these are, so I think Ocean Master between here, I'm going to say, is out. We're not really going for the block team setup. Zatanna, very good, kind of buff us. I like Cyborg, though, because he can frontline. So if we have a tank go down, he could be a replacement for us. And he does shoot rockets based on the debuffs enemies have. Now, we're playing a lot of Burn and now Frost. So he could be an option.
Let's do it. We also don't have a backup tank yet.
Yeah,
So-
very important. You want to grab backup tanks because if one of them goes down, you're going to be in a 4v5 going into the next match. How many times I've gotten stuck and like had to put a support or something up front and just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry,
you're not getting very far." Yeah.
I'm going to win this battle, but you're not going to be here at the end.
All right. So we've got Killer Croc, Penguin,
That
Frankenstein.
one's not bad though. Frankenstein hits like a truck.
I like to avoid Scarecrow.
Scarecrow and Kid Flash.
That's
Yeah,
a
Kid
rough,
Flash
that's a rough team.
Yeah. So Frankenstein again. This one looks very similar to the other one. So these teams are, randomized. So
Yeah.
we gotta take a look here. But I think this one's fine.
I think you can do it, okay?
Yeah, let's try it.
Give it a shot.
All right. So I think we're good here. We've got our backup tank, but we don't want to put him in now. So let's see here. Let's actually use Superboy this time.
All right.
Okay, so we've already got some frost and burn going out. You can see from that choice we made. So we've got 3 stacks in the back there. 3 stacks up on front. The Superboy's gonna fire off some. Oh yeah, you can see.
Boy.
Yeah, Frankenstein gone.
Just deleted.
Yeah, I think we got a crit in there too from our other bonus that we chose. So
The back lines is they're more powerful than before. But John's having some issues. We might want to put John's shield up.
yeah, we might want to get that activated.
Even though I just kind of want to burn through him with Starfire, but
Yeah, I think we would win this battle, but we want to win it with no losses. So let's see if we can.
let's see if we can save John here.
Oh, come on, get another attack.
But,
Good, they went for the back line.
Oh, he's getting poisoned.
Okay. Go.
Put it up.
Oh my god, how close. He's probably still going to go down.
From the dots. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that shield's up there, but okay.
We'll
got
see.
through. Okay, we're going to get through here really. Huntress would have taken him out
Yeah.
if he didn't have that shield right
Yeah,
there.
that was
and
a
then she
a
would have
last
fired
minute
again.
clutch. All right.
Come on. Get that Starfire going.
I'm pounding it. We'll see. We might not need it. We might not need it. Here we go.
We have Superboy to follow it up if he.
Oh,
no.
look at that.
That was a good crit.
Woof. That shield, that Green Lantern John shield is.
Yeah, and now we don't have to worry about him being down for the next battle. We don't have to.
Right.
We don't have to reach into that on that shelf for Cyborg yet. We can save him for later.
Oh, this victory buff is one of my favorites. The lightning strike.
Yes, you got to be careful though, because on like I was saying before, that one deadly sin.
Mm-hmm.
If you chose it on that one, you're already just bringing down the team
That's right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
putting them into that more danger zone to hurt you. So
That's right.
yeah, we don't have any burn ones options here.
We don't. So we're
So-
gonna go for lightning.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We're not going to go all the way because we don't have that much time, but we're going to go pretty far. So we want to grab an extra backup tank? Maybe?
Let's back out a second. I think we're doing pretty good on our team, because here's an interesting thing. If you choose a recruit, you don't get those rewards for that level that day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you want, if you can avoid it, you want to just actually power through so you can get these rewards. So like if I'm sitting here and I really want my nth metal fragments to get my reinforcements leveled up, I don't want to skip any of those fights.
That's true. That's a good point. I'm always very greedy with the rewards, though, so I always snag them. But yeah, you can opt to not pick those up and get more.
Yeah, you have less
More
characters. It's a little bit risky, but you do got. That's when you're choosing. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about my team. I think I'm going to just, go for it.
I may put, since the teams
You've got-
are getting more difficult.
You've got Red Hood against John. You might actually want to put that shield
That's
up.
what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Put it up soon because Red Hood is going to be.
Yeah, he's
Going
gonna
crazy.
he's gonna chew through your health. Oh man, better be ready to tap that. It might
Yeah,
it might be a
I'm
race
getting there.
on who's gonna. It looks like they're gonna get. Just hope Red Hood doesn't go first. Okay, we got Scarecrow doing his ult first. That's not gonna kill John. Not great for us, but
Yeah, it's looking rough.
the poison. We're not
Oh,
a
look
heal
at that.
centric team.
Superboy just incinerated.
Oh yeah,
Scarecrow.
he has his counterattacks. So
Yeah, that's great.
he was just like, I'm not having any of it, and he was just boom.
Now we got John's counterattacks up
Okay.
too.
Yeah, look at those Superboy. That back line critting. You're seeing
Yeah.
crits.
Is this a dev account? No. Not really. So Superman was given to me early for stream purposes, but this is my actual account. So all the weirdness you see, if you're like, why does he have that? It's because it's my actual account. So this is not an actual dev account. No.
Yeah, no, we are playing on the live environment right now. You might want to hit something. You gotta
Oh yeah,
do
sorry,
something.
I was
You do something.
distracted.
Yeah, you're losing your team. Oh no, oh no, oh no. You have foolishly gotten John killed because you got distracted.
I did. Well, now we can. Oh my god.
Look at that. See, it would have been completely.
We would have
gotta-
aced that.
Yeah. You gotta,
Oh, hubris.
yeah.
Oh no, what have I done? Okay. So this is another one. Increases attack when hit points is above 60. So we have one when it's
always
below.
yeah.
All right. Enemy attack and crit damage. I'm just gonna go for raw damage.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's, I don't mind that one. There's a couple of buffs where it's like at the start of the battle, for the first 3 turns, the enemy team is really strong, so you want to have like really strong defenses. And that choice is really good for that deadly sin. But yeah, right here, I don't think it's needed as much. Yeah.
That's about all we got. We never picked up that other tank, so
No, like I said, I think Cyborg's good. So one thing though is that in the same way that we want to stack our team to the back left to double up on, like in this phase, Clayface in this one, we want to put our strongest tank always on the left. So we want to put our actual tank character there so that they can absorb the majority of the damage, because they're gonna right now to start they have 3 characters instead of 2 shooting at them.
right. That makes sense.
And one of those characters is Red Hood, so we should take it pretty seriously.
Yes. Red Hood is no joke.
Yeah.
One of the most fun kits as well. His kit is
Oh,
so the self-res is like so clutch sometimes. He pops up and you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, the
Saves
first
the day.
time I saw that design get slid in front of me, I was like, that's perfect. It's
Yeah.
just so flavorful. It's so on brand for the character. And it's a little funny. I got a little bit of a chuckle where I was like, yeah, of course he resurrects.
Of course. Right. Totally on brand. All right, here we go. We're going to give this one a shot. Then we might jump on over to another mode. Check out some other things before we get out of here.
The Clayface just immediately, that back row crit and damage boost.
Right.
No joke. Okay, and we'll see.
His enemies
Yeah, we
are
got, look at those
beautiful.
missiles going off, kind of like with extra all the debuffs we're throwing out with
Yeah.
the burn and the frost.
All right. Got to forget to do my
Yeah.
ults here.
We can't lose any more.
Leisurely
Yeah, look at
sitting.
that.
Ooh, that was beast.
Constantine can still do some damage
He
though.
is no joke.
He
Oh,
only
there
got
we
he
go.
only got up to 2 of his stacks though. If he
There
had
we go.
attacked and then fired off his extra, would have been bad news.
All right. So we are going to. I'll select this, and then I'm going to back up.
Wait, wait.
Oh,
We're
let's
looking,
keep going. Let's keep
we're
going.
looking for the synergies here.
There we go.
We're
We
looking
got
for
it. I know.
We're looking for Frost and Burn.
We got double bounty too. Okay, so
I am.
suffers damage. I love counterattacks.
So since we're a little bit hard up on defense, we might want to pick that shield one. Might be a little.
this,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
sort
we've
of
already
battle.
got enough damage in our back row.
That's true. I do love this shield. We'll pick that. Ah, we can pick a tank.
Yeah, I'd get some gorilla, but Supergirl with the frost.
Oh, did we just
no.
go for it?
I think we
who
go
would
for
pick
it.
out?
I think I'm being greedy. I'd be like, I want to do the
All right.
thing I'm trying to set up here for.
Let's do it.
I don't know if that's a good choice, but it's a choice.
If we fail, we fail. This is a pretty
choice.
hard team. I don't want to do that one.
Oh, this team's worse.
That's it.
This team's so much
That's
worse.
rough.
That's so much worse.
This is going to hit hard, but I think that might be our best option.
Yeah, it's definitely not the second team. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
that second team, Kid Flash and Lex. It's like
Yeah.
you better be geared up and ready to go with that combo. Okay, so now we got Supergirl. I mean, I guess we got to take out Green Arrow, right?
Yeah, I think we take out Green Arrow and we try Supergirl and we try and get that.
Okay, slot him in
that
here.
It's hard. It's like
This is a tough.
you get
spot.
to the end of elsewhere and you're like, oh, they've got so many good characters you can't choose. But
I know.
I think this is pretty good. I think we should try this out.
I'm gonna rely on our nukes here.
Yeah. Now we gotta get that Superboy ult going as fast as possible. He
Shield's very handy.
hits a bunch.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's see. I almost threw Martian Manhunter already, which is good because.
Yeah, he's burning through it.
Oh, there we go. Cyborg Vision. Okay, this is gonna be up. You gotta start with. You're only gonna get now that Martian Manhunter. You only got the one person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot she's.
Yeah, she does the first row.
front row. Yeah.
Yeah, she does. She would do the back row if there's nobody left.
No, Cyborg down.
Oh man. Well, you're gonna have a rough time when you try and finish this later, but that's not my problem anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Shucks. So we should say that if you do get defeated, there are resources that you can bring your characters back.
yeah. You get the adrenaline shots, and you get them from doing your daily missions. So you finish your daily missions for the day, you'll get one. And if you're able to make it through a run without having to revive, you get to kind of stockpile those. So when you have a really bad run, like I do every so often, I need to use 5 adrenaline shots in
Right.
one day.
Right.
You have them.
So one thing we should really talk about before we get out of here is Hall of Justice. What do you have to say about players and what they can do in Hall of Justice and how it all works?
Oh man, so Hall of Justice is your guild. We call them leagues system, but if you're familiar with other games, it's your guild. So you have your other players, and there's a bunch of resources in here that you can use to help you progress. One of the things that's really good for new players is to check out the mercenary system. In here, you can kind of hire or borrow characters from other people in your league's roster. So if you're having, and you get to use them once and then they go away. So it's like a one shot, like they come in, swoop in, help you out, and then take off. Really helpful if you're stuck in like main stage or something. Really like kind of the punch. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily find this right away, and I think it helps people really early on. I think it could help them get through some places. The gallery trade's fun, but it's kind of like a mini game, so we won't spend a whole lot of time on that. You have your quiz here for the daily quiz.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of gems there, so you want to go in here, make sure you get your diamonds, and also learn a little bit of lore.
Yeah, you can learn some DC facts, which is fun.
Yeah, if you don't get the correct, it's fine. You're gonna get some diamonds either way.
But you learn either way,
But you
too.
learn, and then
Yeah.
the next time it comes around, you'll know. Like, knowing that the world's finest. And the big thing here is League Challenge. So this is kind of our really one of our endgame modes where you're really trying to work with your team to defeat Steppenwolf, the parademons, and try and progress through your difficulties. So right now your guild is on difficulty 5. And you will see here that you're currently on parademons. We just rolled over, so parademons are open, but throughout the week you open up more fights and progress. And this mode is really cool about like trying to figure out like how can each person in a guild's strength help you guys get to success, because each of these sectors is going to have slightly different things going on with them. Like we need burn characters here, we need back row characters here, and then this one that's already stabilized, so you're not going to be able to help in this one, is AoE characters, which is a pretty popular one for people because you're going with parademons. They're really squishy.
And AoE like crazy.
AoE like crazy, so people love jumping in that first sector. But the rewards for here are really great. So, you know, as you progress, there's your personal rewards. So you'll have as you get your own points, you progress on your own personal track, and you can see there's a bunch of goodies here, including some of these boxes here where you can get some really good rewards out of here. And you also get, you know, we got a couple of artifact resources. We've got some badge resources, some coins, you know, a bunch of good stuff.
Lots of stuff to get on the regular. Yeah.
Yes. And then you have, when you guys, I can't see him now, but when you fight Steppenwolf, he has a track too, depending on how much damage you do to him. The entire guild unlocks rewards as you go through there. So it's a team effort.
Good stuff. We can quickly show like one of these and what they look like. We won't stay in here for very long, but of course there's a little recommended who should bring. So we said burn.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a new burn character in here. We're gonna have to update this list.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we've got we should do this one. We've been talking about burn. Superman's pretty good in burn.
Yeah.
He'd be
Let's set it up.
a good setup here. So
Let's clear these guys out, and we'll just pick a team real quick.
yeah, Lex is pretty good, but
Superman, we'll keep Lex in the back.
yeah, I like having somebody that can be a little bit more defensive. Lex in the back? Are you crazy?
So I do crazy stuff.
You are crazy. You're out of control. Let's get Superboy
my main
in.
team. In my defense, my main team, I put Wonder Woman in the front, Lex in the back.
Okay, well,
yeah,
Wonder Woman is pretty good in the front.
Yeah.
So let's grab Superboy so we can get his team synergy going.
And we just leveled him up earlier with the Matrix,
Yes,
so we
so
can
he
show
is
that off.
in there and select his team synergy.
All right.
Get that going. Probably get Starfire in here. We want to like get those burns because we didn't mention this, but we have bonuses here for each character with the burn tag. Your team's going to get bonus attack and defense. And it's something that I like to try as well. Do you have Dr. Phosphorus? I saw you have the Bride. Did you not?
I do have Phosphorus because I leveled up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's just throw Bizarro in then.
Okay. Good
And
stuff.
we'll get going. But Dr. Phosphorus, while you start this up, what I was thinking there is that he's immune to burn and the parademons deal burn. So actually throwing him on the front line, he ignores a lot of their damage early on because he just like eats these burn stacks. And not only does he ignore burn, but it builds him up and increases his damage for each stack of burn that he gets. I think it goes up to like 30. It's pretty good. And he also has an AoE, so he's pretty well set up for this fight.
His kit is very unique.
It was really difficult balancing him because of that.
Oh, that's a good question. So chat was asking how stats on badges are decided.
Oh, so it really depends on like what the character is trying to do. So it is they are meant to try and reinforce the kit. So we try and make sure that we're doing things. And some of the things with our design philosophy on badges in general is that we want badges to kind of unlock a slightly different style of play with the character. Sometimes it's more dramatic, sometimes it's less, but we want to make sure that there's like a new or different team than their primary tree that they're supporting when they go up. So you might see like secondary stats that kind of support that kind of line of thinking. Stats and also the badge effects.
All right, so we're cruising through these guys now.
Man, we're gonna. How's our health looking in the back? Okay, we don't need a heal yet in the back.
We're doing pretty
Well,
okay.
this is got a nice lineup here. I'm gonna bat cycle these guys down. Just
Gotta love that
boom.
Yeah, we'll talk. Actually, maybe as soon as we're finished with this, we'll talk a little bit more about reinforcements and how they work for our newer players.
I like Superboy here because his counterattack really like helps burn things down. Oh, we got the Sonic Boom pass there. Oh, hold off. Wait.
Wait. I'm eager.
Yeah, and then you can go crazy. Get Superboy going.
Here we go.
We waited
got
a
a
little
fun
bit too
kit.
long. We actually wasted some energy, but that's
too slow.
okay. This isn't my account.
I just want to
That's
use
okay.
Bizarros just to use Bizarros because he's got such a fun Love that
Yeah.
animation.
I do love characters that just like have a really strong laser beam attack.
Yeah,
Just
it looks very fun.
always enjoyed strong single target attacks like that. Let's get the Batmobile
Yeah, let's
going.
Batmobile them. That is good
Yeah.
timing. Gotta love Batmobile.
Yeah. So something I really like to do with Parademons, it's trying to like minimize your damage in these early levels to like give you more runway later on.
Right.
Is I'm always looking at the turn tracker here on the left, and like when we get here, if I have an ultimate that's like an AoE or something, I try and hit it to try and knock a couple of them out so they don't get turns.
That makes sense.
Like if you can get like single targets damage down and like get them down to like 2 or 3 of them before they have their turn order, you only get hit a lot less, and then you can finish the last one off and then do another AoE wave. And you're always trying to like cut them down before it gets, because they're always in like a glob of turns.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of strategy to be found in each one of these modes, and it kind of, yeah.
I'm gonna just queue them both up. No, I love. I think Bizarro's a really fun character too.
He is.
He's got his passive where he gives a flower. You can see it's on top of Lex there to help him out. He's a really fun character overall.
Put up Lex's shield. Just keep us healthy.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably drop out after this. Show off some other stuff before time is up. Because time's ticking. It goes by fast. You're like, oh man.
Yeah. Feels
We
like
had a lot
we've
to
been,
talk about, and now it's like it's nearing the end. It's kind of sad. Definitely let us know in chat if you want us to do more of these in the future. This is kind of an experiment to see how you guys would like it, if you want to see stuff a little bit early. So let us know if you like it or what you'd like to see, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I increased the speed a little bit there,
Yeah.
throwing some stuff out. See, and then you save this heal for the end.
Try and save the day.
Yeah,
So
get
you
them
can go
up a little bit further. But we're at the point now where they're just kind of like whooping. Are we going to be able to? It looks like we'll be able to maybe finish one more off.
Oh, there we
Superman.
go.
Okay, yeah, then we
he-
got to that next level.
Here we go.
Yeah, and now,
This is his moment to shine.
yeah, Superman's going to have. He's going to.
Immunity.
Immunity. There we go. We get to see showcase that passive.
There
so
we go.
We're going to really get to just a few more points there.
there
He
we
gets
go.
one more attack in.
Hey, I feel pretty okay about that.
Yeah.
Not
It
bad.
might be a case where you want to put him in certain battles in that front line, so you take advantage of that turn of immunity, because then everybody in the back row also gets that extra turn.
Right. Let's quickly jump on over to bunks,
Okay.
because it's a fun feature, and you
Yeah.
were talking about gathering resources earlier.
Yes. So top left there, you can see we've got a little red dot here telling us something to check out. Squad dispatch. The Batgirl's got her squad dispatch sending people out on missions. So let's take a quick look. So yeah, you had some things to collect there
Yeah,
still.
some leftovers.
So I often use the quick dispatch, which unlocks as you get a little bit further in. You kind of learn about the system, but you see here there's rewards and time limit. So we got 8 hours that this takes to go out on, but it's basically sending characters out on a mission, and they'll collect those resources, save the day, bring them back, and get it. So and you get a set of these every day, and you want to make sure you complete all of them, because like I said, they've got like 2200 titanium, nothing to sneeze at here. You've got 4400, 6600, 7700. There's a lot of titanium to be grabbed up on this map. So let's just go ahead and do a quick dispatch. You'll see quick dispatch, really convenient. It autofills like based on the requirements what you need here. So we'll just go ahead and fire that off.
Confirm. There we go. And then we
And they're
wait
off.
and we come back and get our goodies later.
Yep. Yeah. It's,
I love the aesthetics of all these rooms, by the way. There's different mini games and stuff you can play in each one of them. You can unlock more as you go.
yeah. Green Arrows minigame's super fun.
It is.
I
it
love
is.
that arrow shooting game.
I'm terrible at it, so I'm not going to showcase how terrible I am at it for the world to see, but just know that I'm not good at the Green Arrow game. So we are getting questions about what's coming next. We'll kind of hint at some stuff coming next. We did want to quickly talk about reinforcements, and that actually leads into kind of what some of the stuff that's coming next. So the reinforcement system is really cool. So for those of you who don't have very many reinforcements, the first one you unlock is Bat Cycle. You get more as you progress. So what you can do is you can add these to any of your teams, and you can add up to 3. And there's a whole, as you can see, I've missed some. I almost got the tank last time, but I missed it by like this much. And you can level these up, and as you level these up, it actually levels up the power of your entire team.
Yeah,
which is
you'll see here on the bottom right, you have total reinforcement level 477, and that's leading into all these team attack, team HP, team defense. So that's what I was saying earlier. Even if you're not using the bat cycle, leveling it up adds to this number, which adds to your whole strength. So
Right.
always make sure to level those up.
So level these up as you go, and it increases the power of everybody on your team. And then, of course, you get these cool extra abilities. Like in one of the teams that I use, I always use the tawny because of the extra bleed that it gives. So if you have a bleed team, well, now you have extra bleed, right?
Yeah, I like throwing that out too, even with like Raven, where you're just like looking for any debuff.
Right.
It adds it up there.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of my main teams is a debuff team with Sinestro. So
Oh, yeah.
you get the tawny, you get Raven, you get Gorilla Grodd. It's like you just pounding the
that little
debuff.
trifecta is kind of a cornerstone of a lot of teams I build.
Right.
Is like you have Sinestro, you got Grodd up front. And Raven's just like a really good flex character in general, and like in that team she really shines.
Yeah. Throw the tawny in there. We do have another reinforcement coming to the game.
We do.
Can we talk a little bit about it?
We can. So
Pull the
we've got
curtain
we've got a little bit of time before it comes out, but one of our characters here, as you'll see in the back here, we got Crypto here. So we've got 3 of our characters, and then Crypto coming in as a reinforcement. Yeah, get out of the way.
I'm out of the way.
Get out of the way.
I'm rolling.
So Crypto is coming in as a reinforcement. We were trying to get as many characters as we could in from the movie. And I'm super excited. It is a relatively straightforward reinforcement, which is sometimes my favorite one because they really are clear what they're doing. He runs in, he laser visions the other team, he adds a bunch of burn, he does some superpower damage, so he's going to be leading in. You dampen up the team with the new debuff, have him fly in once you're at max critical stacks, do a bunch of damage, leave a bunch of burn behind for Superman to take advantage of, and any of your other burn characters, and really set you up for success. So I think he is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I do have to say, everyone tells me I'm too gushy, but I'm going to gush about his animation as well. One of the coolest reinforcement animations as well. He comes in, he does like a flyby by the camera on his way out. It looks gorgeous. It's like a very, very cool looking reinforcement. So I'm going to do everything in my power to get Crypto.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of camera time as he flies by and like gets a little shot on the camera. Like he's interested. Like, what's this? And then he goes away.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so got a question coming in. How do team buffs work? So looking here at the bottom, our team attack, team HP, and team defense. This is, as I said, there's many ways to be going through and leveling yourself up. This is one of them. When it says team attack, team HP, and defense, it means everyone on your team is getting that bonus to their base stats. So those bonuses are added to the team on top of what their stats say on their page. This is also, equipment does bonuses in this manner as well. And yeah, there's like a handful of ways to get these different ways. And like I said, if you're stuck, leveling your reinforcements can give you that boost. Like a little bit more attack, a little bit more HP can mean another round of attacking for a character, which could be the difference between, losing or winning. And when Kid Flash is bullying you in Convergence and you can't quite get past that stage.
Right. So if you're out of titanium and you can't level for a little bit, there are other options to get past that hump.
Yeah.
So yeah, and plus reinforcements are just really fun and really cool. So
yeah, that's true. It's leveling them up. It is important to know, like, just doing the level doesn't actually do anything for the power of the reinforcement. It's all on your team. If you want to make your reinforcement stronger, you want to be doing the rank up here. So you want to be getting these next levels on the rank up is how you make your reinforcements. Otherwise, your reinforcement strength is going to be based on your team. So it's always going to be, if you level up your team, your reinforcement's going to be proportionally about as good. But ranking it up makes it better on its own.
Do we have any teasers about Guy or Mr. Terrific that we can talk about, or the synergy?
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to give. I'm not gonna pull. No,
Yeah.
I'm super excited for people to see and experience them on their own.
Right.
But something I will say is that you will see dampen being applied as these characters. They are superpowered centric. They want to be boosting a superpower based team. They're really about that new dampen debuff superpower damage. Guy is he's a DPS. He's going in there and he's going to do some superpower damage. He's really about kind of showing off and gloating. He's a really fun character to work with. He's got he's got some of my most favorite animations. Like when you're in the level up screen and stuff, he swaps around. I won't give it away, but once you guys see it, I think you're gonna really like it as much as I do. And then Mr. Terrific, I'm not gonna give the details, but he is our team synergy holder for the team. He is going to unlock a new type of kind of team synergy setup that we haven't explored before, and it's going to encourage you to really be playing some of your DPS up front instead of tanks. So that's all I'll say about that for now.
It's exciting though. It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Oh, look, we got
Yes.
last question.
Yeah. So question is best character for crit gear. So
Red Hood.
Red Hood is
Yeah.
my favorite. I mean, he's the team synergy holder for crit, but like his ultimate having multiple shots just really, and he also gets higher amount of crit as he goes with his bullet passive. So he's a great one. Green Arrow is also pretty good for crit.
Huntress.
Wonder Woman's good for crit.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's good. Period.
In
But
general.
very good with crit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a couple, but I think Red Hood is like in my mind at least, the crit character currently.
Yeah. He's very, very powerful. The self-res too, which is just wildly powerful.
I also think it's just like a very funny moment when like an enemy character does some big bombastic like ultimate attack and it like hits your whole team and they're like the last one left, and then Red Hood's just like bam.
Yeah.
And then like crits and it's just over.
He blasts him. He does a ton of damage. That's a great character to try and pick up. So he's a lot of fun. Well, I think we're almost out of time. Thank you all so much for tuning in for this. Like, it was practically 90 minutes. We went through a lot of stuff, showed off the game, hung out and had a good time. Showed you guys Superman, did our interview with Gail Simone. You have any closing words for the audience and for people watching?
I mean, Superman is going to be really fun in our game. I'm really excited for the movie coming out as well. Check out both, but if you have to choose one, check out our game. I'm going to be a little greedy there. But yeah, it's going to be great. I think people are going to really love the characters. They're going to really see how they translate from the movie to our game. And I'm really excited to see how players play with Superman in ways that we didn't even think of. Because that's what always happens in game design is you make something, you have an idea of how players are going to use, but when you release it to, a million people, they're going to think of it and put it in ways you didn't think of. So I'm interested to see what kind of team compositions or synergies people find that we didn't even see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, definitely let us know. Like we said, Superman banner goes live later on today. Let us know on our social channels what you think of him. Tell us about the synergies and all the fun stuff that you discover with the character. Join us on our official Discord and let us know there as well. And come hang out. We've got an awesome community of really fantastic people that have been sharing ideas and comps and all sorts of stuff with each other for a very long time. So please join in on that. And, say hi to the devs. They really appreciate it. They've been working hard for a really long time on this game. And they're, I know, all elated to have it out in the wild and have you playing it. And I've seen the future of what is coming, and it is very bright and very, very cool. I know I say things are cool a lot, but it is true. But thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
You guys have a good one.